Hello, this is Sheshachalam from AstroGuide Mysore. So, continuing the series of moon in different houses for the Aries ascendant, we have now reached the 10th house, the sign of Capricorn. And we all know that Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. And Capricorn consists of Uttarashada Nakshatra, second, third, and fourth quarter. And then after Uttarashada Nakshatra, you have Shravana Nakshatra. Why it is important is because Shravana Nakshatra is owned by Moon and it is the center of Uttarashada, that is, sorry, not Uttarashada, Capricorn. So, Shravana Nakshatra has all the four quarters 1, 2, 3, 4. So, Uttarashada 3, Shravana 4, you got 7, and the remaining two amshas, that is Navamshas, the two amshas of this particular sign is of Dhanishta. Dhanishta 1, Dhanishta 2, which is ruled by Mars. So, Moon being the fourth lord now has traveled 7 houses to Capricorn. Being the fourth lord, that is the lord of the sign of Cancer, has traveled 7 houses and it is now made a half circle, that is semicircle, and come to the 7th house in Capricorn. So that is the 10th from Aries. So please try to understand the relevance of this position. The 7th is the 10th from the 10th. So that falls somewhere else. But here it is not the 7th, the house, it is the 10th house. But who has traveled? The 4th Lord. He has traveled to the 10th house. Who is the 4th Lord? 4th Lord is the Lord of luxury, Sukha, that is enjoyment, materialistic property, houses, cars, Vahana Yoga will all come from that particular Lord, that is Moon, which is the owner of that particular sign, Cancer. Mother. So, all those significations are now sitting in the 10th house, and that mixing happens. You know, you will have to take up the characteristics and the significations of the 10th house, mix it along with the significations of Moon, and then understand whether it is a friend of the ascendant lord, which is Mars, and then you will get a small cup of results. So, Moon is anyway a beautiful friend of Mars, excellent friend of Mars, and that is why the Chandramangala Yoga gives rise to very good beneficial results. But here there is a slight, important point that we have to understand. That is, Moon is a Kendradipati, that is Lord of a quadrant. So Kendradipatya dosha will come to Moon if it is sitting in any Kendra. That means the dosha, that is a malefic influence, gets Moon becomes a malefic if it owns a quadrant and is also placed in a quadrant. So double malefic it will become. That is what has been written in many books. Not only for Moon, it is a general statement for every quadrant, Lord of quadrant. Peculiarly, Moon does not acquire this dosha in this particular placement for this particular ascendant. Though being the fourth lord, Moon does not acquire Kendradipatya dosha when it is placed in the 10th sign, that is the 10th house from the ascendant sign of Aries, which is Capricorn. So, let us go into the placements and the results. The placements or the plotting of the nakshatras, that is Uttarashada Nakshatra, the second pada, it starts from Capricorn itself. The Navamsha plotting of a Chara Rashi, that is a movable sign like Capricorn, will start from Capricorn itself and then go ahead, move ahead in the cyclic order. So, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces Uttarashada Nakshatra, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Then you have Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer for Shravana Nakshatra 1, 2, 3, 4. So you know that Shravana Nakshatra itself, the moon when it is placed there becomes stronger. But if it is placed in the Shravana 2 or Shravana 4, you get to see the placement of moon in Taurus and Cancer respectively in the D9 chart too. So that makes it double stronger. So when moon is placed in the second and the fourth quarter of Shravana Nakshatra, it gains a lot of strength and it is very comfortably placed, the 10th house. So after that, you get Dhanishta Nakshatra, first and second pada, that is first and second quarter, which fall in the sign of Leo and Virgo. So once again, when you see the placement of a moon in the sign of Leo, it's a beautiful placement in D9, provided the ascendant is well placed. But the placement of moon in Virgo might make the native very shy, very timid, with a sweet voice, more of a feminine kind of a placement. So let us go into the results of this particular placement of moon in the 10th house. The native, as moon is placed in the karma sthana, has to follow the karma in association and influence of moon. Though the 10th house is owned by Saturn, the placement of Saturn wherever in the chart will have a strong influence over the type of job or the type of profession the native would choose. Moon has a very pivotal role to play in what sort of a choice the native would do with regard to his profession. Being a fast moving planet and being placed in the 10th house, the native's habit of continuously either going to higher levels in the same company or changing a company and jumping from a job to a job is very clearly seen. Why? Moon is a fast moving planet. It's like a liquid, it's like a river flowing down the hill. So he does not want to stay in a place. He gets bored if it gets stagnant. The water becomes impure. He doesn't want to get impure. He wants to have fresh thoughts, fresh creativity, fresh imagination. So he would want to do it in a fresh place, a new place. So he would always want to keep investigating his own self into getting motivated into a new place, develop his skills and keep climbing. So he does not want a slow paced professional life, particularly when it is placed with Uttarashada Nakshatra. It is the nakshatra of Sun. It's a very fast paced nakshatra because Sun is also fast moving. And when it is placed in Shravana Nakshatra, the native will have a flare because it goes in between Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer in the D9 chart. It is a good placement for excellent development in professional life, no doubt. But if the ascendant is weak or the 10th lord is weak, these people suffer a lot because in panic, if you leave a job, in the same speed you don't get back the job, so you might go jobless if unnecessarily you get into your own thoughts and do something like leaving a job or in not accepting a job or something like that. So second point, which is also important with regard to job, is not all jobs are salary paid jobs. It can also be that you will go ahead and join your own family business. So when you take up a family business, you will do very good in it. And why is that? Because the fourth lord, particularly the maternal side, I'm telling you, maternal uncle's business or joining the maternal uncle. Who is the maternal uncle and where is it to be seen is the sixth house. So, if there is a beautiful influence of Mercury along with Moon in the 10th house for an Aries ascendant, the native can do very good with his maternal uncle in his job or business or in his enterprise, whatever. So he can also become an entrepreneur when moon is there in the 10th house, because moon is a planet of business. It continuously wants to keep changing, currency, like making money. So it's a good planet to be placed in the 10th house, but keeping in mind that the 10th lord is stable. If it is not stable, then people will do hop, skip, and jump and go through a lot of pitfalls. So they also are interested in this, a lot of research oriented jobs. And why this particular thing is because the fourth lord is in the seventh house, wherein he would want to go abroad, travel to other countries, do some extras, higher studies there, and start a business there itself. So these things are very important for us to understand, that the seventh house from any given house will increase the travel or business capacity of that house. So the fourth house is family business. That is the fourth. And from there, moon is in the seventh house. So this native, when he gets involved into family business, he will take it abroad or he will make it global. So there are many people who have done that. That until their time, their forefathers had kept a very small business which was only around their city, town, or their district. But when this native came into the business, he slowly takes it and makes it global. Gets listed in the NSE. So next, there is also a very beautiful, this is one of the Raja Yogas, uh, that this person has the blessing that he will work in the line that he has studied. But for this particular thing, you need to see many placements. The fifth lord's placement, the ninth lord placement, these are all blessings. So if the blessings are bad, if the fifth lord and the ninth lord both are with Ketu in the eighth house, he'll be very rich, but he will not be doing what he had studied. So things are to be seen very well, and only then you need to do the predictions. So a very good business person, and also can also become an entrepreneur who can. That's what has been written. Can have his own brand. That means he can take it to a very high level. They can do business with any liquid, with any aromatic perfumes, like also FMCG, that is food products, packed food, packed raw material which can be used for preparing food, and also products from the sea, products from the rivers, products from agriculture, that is nature, spices, people who can be very good in garments, particularly raw material for garments. They can be good in chemical industries, particularly research in microbiology and technology like gene mutation, XYZ. So many things are there, and they can also be into medical equipments like dentistry, particularly because moon represents dental equipments. They can also be a pulmonologist for breathing. The person can be a urologist. Many things. It's a very big list. I can't go ahead and keep telling everything. They can be in the Navy too. But this is a very good placement for Aries. Thank you.